Ed the Guard from KOS. I'm back. Today, we're going to talk about the RH factor. The white lies but black truth. There's a science that's being pumped out by a bunch of racist scientists that's saying that black people are RH positive. Now, let me just explain to you a little bit, to the people how this works. You got an RH. You have four different blood types, basic blood types. You got O, you got A, you got B, and you got AB. And then you have a negative and positive. Your negative and positive means RH, whether you positive for RH or negative for RH. RH means rhesus monkey. So basically what they're saying within our systems, that there's a rhesus monkey protein within our blood. They discovered on the red blood cells a protein that's associated with the rhesus monkey. Now, the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, far as there's a bunch of racist people putting this out to try to make us believe that we have some type of relationship with the monkey, because then it coincides with the bullshit-ass evolution story that they've been feeding us for so many years. The Darwinism science or theory of how man came into existence from a fucking ape, which they are also calling it the missing link, because they can't see a man evolve from an ape today. So that goes to debunk what they were saying far as human beings, or black people especially, evolved from fucking apes. So let's look at this. When you study a science, or when I study a science, I apply the mathematics to it. And when I do that, I try to get the birth, the origin, where it came from. How old is it? So when you ask them, these scientists, how old is this RH factor science, how old is it? They tell you that it's 25,000 or 35,000 years old. Some say that it comes from the Middle East. They won't go back to Africa, but they'll say the Middle East. And it seems like when they say the Middle East, they point to Israel, because they are also saying that the Jews are RH negative people, meaning a special people, a bloodline people. Now, some of them are also saying that it come from England, or it originated from Spain, or they have some RH people also located in Argentina and Canada and some in the U.S., but they are Europeans. Quote unquote, all these people that they're saying RH negative are Europeans. And it was supposed to be just some type of bloodline that they're trying to associate it with the reptilian bloodline, saying that they was RH negative. Now, this is the shit that they feeding us, and they feeding the people, and they want the people to believe. But the mathematics don't lie. So these are the questions, or these are the things that they're under investigation, because you just can't feed me anything. And that's the problem. We'll listen to what they say without going back and studying it, or looking at the origin. So now look, O is called the universal blood type, or the universal donor. Could receive any blood, or you could give to any blood. And O is supposed to be the oldest blood type. If O is the oldest blood type, and the oldest people on the planet is black, then that means that O should be associated with black people. That's just common sense. In the RH factor, the rhesus monkey protein is found on the red blood cells. This is the reason why they're saying, this is how they identify that whether you have the Rh factor positive or negative within your bloodstream by studying the protein on the red blood cells. The thing is, when we look at how they saying that the Jews is supposed to be one of the people that has Rh negative, we know now and beginning to wake up as a people that they're not the original Jews. So once we can get in that area with them and talk about that, and then they can understand that we are the original Jews, then again, not only that O is the oldest blood type on the planet and it should be going to belong to the oldest people on the planet, which is black people. If black people are the original Jews, then here you have it again, associating it with black people again. O is the only blood type that cannot be cloned. We know, or we hear, or we see that the European could be cloned. But how many black clones do you hear about? Do you know? Do you see? Especially dark blue-black people, clones. Dark blue-black clones. I'm not talking about people like with my skin complexion who in my ancestry might have been tainted with by their slave masters or mixing with other Indo-European races. I'm talking about dark blue-black people, clones. Never heard of it. So, again, now, if you can't clone old blood type and you never seen, or we know for a fact that dark blue-black clone never came into existence, that got to be talked about. That's the investigation right there. Because now we got the oldest blood type insinuated with the oldest people on the planet, insinuated with the Jews, which the original people of the planet is the Jews, the black people, and then we have O. We got O, the blood type that can't be cloned, but we know Europeans can be cloned. So when we look at this, we got to understand that is they giving us the information without prejudice, or is they giving us the information so they could claim to be superior? Within our body, there's 225 alien genes that they can't identify with or can't identify, and they don't know where these genes come from. In black people's body, 225 alien genes. They saying, oh, the origin of O, they don't know where it come from. It's not of this planet. They can't copy it. The only race of people on this planet that's eligible to have that type of blood is black people. We are superior in sports, thinking, building, and anything that you can imagine, we contributed to this planet. We are a mirror image of the solar system. From the pineal gland to the human body as just a whole. So when I sit back and listen to them feed us this bullshit about Rh positive being associated with black people, it's hard for me to understand that, because we are a negative, Rh negative people by nature. If black people at this time in day and age is Rh positive, it's because of the mixing or the rape of our ancestors that took place when we had these encounters with these fucking beasts. They did us dirty. They gave us many shades that you see to black to this day. That's the RH positive blood being injected into the black nation. So if we are RH positive at this time, it's because we was given that. Y'all gave us, they made us RH positive. We was RH negative by nature. So the thing is, what we need to investigate is, what foods do we eat that is associated with RH negative? So we can get back to ourselves. How could we turn back from RH positive if we are to RH negative? This is the investigation. This is what we need to be understanding and studying at this time. Because they're lying to us and telling us that we RH positive. And that's not true. We can see all within their genetic makeup how many ingredients these bastards lack. So at the end of the day, you're not fooling us, because some of us know what time it is. So y'all can keep running around telling people that that pseudoscience, because y'all have the money and the equipment and the laboratories and the fucking TV cameras backing y'all with this bullshit about who's RH positive, who RH negative. You can't even fathom or begin to understand. This is why y'all studying this, that we are the ones. And to go a little bit deeper with it, to say that 225 alien genes within our body is foreign and they don't know where it originates from, and to say that the O blood type is foreign and you don't know where it originates from, and then take it back and show pictures of our ancestors on the pyramids, walls, and the hieroglyphs all out through Egypt and Africa, is a smack in the face to the intelligence of fucking people. Like we would just sit there and just spin around in the chair and listen to this bullshit. You showing us and insinuating the RH negative with our people, and then turn around saying that all black people, 85 to 90% of black people is RH positive? And then say, oh, I'm not being racist. Well, what do it sound like? Because the information that you're giving is not accurate.